Okay, so this morning we are set up to start a new culture from a tube of cells we froze back from an early passage after isolation from umbilical cord. So I'm just going to quickly walk you through what the process will be. Typically in the lab we use the water bath to thaw the cells. I know a lot of times in clinics people will just warm these up with their hands, and that's okay as long as it's done relatively quickly. In the lab, we like to have a more controlled system. At 37 degrees, we warm them up in the water bath. So typically we have these cells in our -80 freezer, which is out in the main portion of our lab here. We have them in here in the -20 for now, just for this purpose, or the purpose of doing this video. It's typically a about a 5-minute process, up to 5 minutes. If you were to be doing this in the clinic, obviously you want to bring it to a full, even solution with no ice crystals remaining, just for the purpose of showing how many live cells come out of a frozen tube. Okay, this is looking good. So put these into the hood here. Come back in a moment. First thing we're going to do is a little bit challenging to open when they've been cleaned. Set this to the side. I'm going to just mix the contents of the tube, make sure that everything's evenly distributed. Up and down. And we'll put the sample. Place it in this tube. Now this sample is what we will use to get an idea of the concentration of cells in this tube. This would not happen in the clinic. This is part of the lab process. Transferring these cells to the media that will be used for further growth. Back to our tube of cells that we're using to count. Come back here. Let's just make sure we can see everything here. We have the tube of cells. We can see the small sample at the bottom. Critical part here is we are going to add trypan blue. Trypan blue is an agent that is used to determine how many live and dead cells are present in your sample. So the trypan blue will be incorporated into a dead cell. So when we put this onto a cell counter, which we'll do next, so now those will mix. We'll give it time to just briefly incubate. And we're going to use a slide specialized for this piece of equipment here, the Countess. It's an automated cell counter. So we've now added our sample to the specialized slide. Place this slide into the Countess. We'll do an automatic focus. You can see all of the cells show up there. Once it automatically focuses, brings it back, press capture, and it will do an automatic count. And in this case, what you're seeing here is a 92% live cell count, which is going to pass our release criteria. We have 7.25 million cells per milliliter. We pack these anywhere between 1 mil and 1.5 mils. And that will bring it up to somewhere in the range of 11 million cells per tube. Now we sell these as 10 million cells because there will always be some cells that die through the process. In this case, 8%. And then at that point, the 6.64 million cells per milliliter will then account for the 10 plus million cells in your tube.